Hello, America, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talked to Brad Thompson, God's Garage. Mars reviews the Infiniti QX50. That's some. What is it?
Nothing. We're just making fun of you. That's all.
Did I do something wrong?
All the time.
Okay. We got the events calendar. Later, we're going to talk about the upcoming Houston Auto Show. Mm-hmm. That's right around the corner in January. Plus, we'll look at the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Conrad's out today. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. Glad you could join us on this Saturday live broadcast. If you're listening on a podcast, then you may wonder why I said Saturday. Mm-hmm. Well, because we tape the podcasts on Saturday morning. Yep. And we also broadcast this live in living color on the air.
Living color,
8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. So now you got the skinny on that. Mm-hmm. What else do we have the skinny on? Let's see. Tomorrow morning is Chrome and Coffee at the Avalon Diner. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's all I know.
My granddaughter's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, and, happy birthday.
We're going to have a little soiree at my daughter's house this afternoon.
Nice.
And what are we doing after the show today?
We're having a wonderful in-wheel time Christmas lunch courtesy of my good friend George Skelton.
Great friend of the show.
Yep. And George and I go way back to elementary school. And George is always tuned in and listens to us religiously on Saturdays for our live broadcast. But he's set us up with this absolutely gorgeous-looking Perini Ranch brisket. We're going to have that. I bought some fresh rolls for us to...
Oh, I brought bread, pickles, onion, all that.
See, you didn't have to do any of that. I told you that I would supply everything.
You know me.
Except for the onion. I didn't have any onions.
Onion? It's a huge onion.
It is massive.
Very large onion.
But
we're going to chub it out.
Chub it out. Let's check in with a good friend of the show's. His name is Brad Thompson. He's with God's Garage. Brad, good morning to you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you guys. Little technical issues on my end, I think, but I think we're good now.
You have technical issues.
Way.
You've got it written all over you.
Smoke and mirrors, man. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Don't be doing that.
Yes, it is. It's for all of our...
How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing very well, thank you. Heading into Christmas, and we thought we'd give you a buzz and see how things are happening at God's Garage. But before we get into that, for those people that don't know what God's Garage is, I'm going to let you explain it.
Yeah, thanks. We are a 501c3 up in Conroe. We are a organization that's fully donor supported. We take in donated vehicles, running or not, and we repair them, get them roadworthy, get them inspected, and then we give them away to single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military. And we also will fix vehicles for that same single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military. We'll fix their vehicles too at little or no cost to them.
Very nice.
Wow.
What a wonderful thing that you're doing. Are you in a new shop up there?
We
yeah,
talked
you
about
guys.
That. Yeah.
So we're getting there. A year and a half into this effort, we are probably within a month of having this done. I'm actually standing on the north end. That's looking into the shop, and the big wall behind me is the office space. It's going to replace the old building we have that has 2.5 or 3 bays, and our office building was a really old building that, because TxDOT's widening 105 here on the east side of Conroe, we had to lose that building. So we didn't really have a whole lot of choice, but man, this is going to be neat. It's a tremendous building. The contractors, our general contractor, Brandt, they've done a great job for us. We just really, we're chomping at the bit to get into this thing.
Wow.
Well, you had a little bit of a setback last time we were talking to you. Somebody broke into the shop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, actually, remember they stole our truck.
Stole the truck.
So
yeah.
They stole it, and the truck was on the outside. Yeah, we got the truck back. Never really heard much more about that. That truck was kind of at the end of its legs anyway, so it probably had more value in a chop shop than it did, than it did here. But Since then, we actually got another truck donated to us. So we now have a different truck in the fleet. And I think that one we're about to salvage because I think it's got over 300,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Interesting. So what are you currently working on? You have Christmas presents for people?
Yeah, we're just trying to close out our year. Our goal this year, because of all the construction, was to try to give away 100 cars. We're in the low 80s right now, so I'm not sure if we'll actually make 100. We've already repaired over 60 vehicles this year. Just so you also know, it's not just, hey, show up, get a car. We take these ladies through a seminar where we teach them life skills, include budgeting, resume writing, how to dress for an interview, nutrition, childcare. So we do quite a bit to help them kind of also understand that they're not alone. There's a group of people that will just love them and accept them and not be judgmental. And our goal is to help give them that lift up in life where they can get, to that next rung and get out of that horrible pit of not being able to get around. I mean, when you hear the stories of women walking down major roads or freeways with their kids to go to the grocery store, and then they put all the groceries in a stroller and they push it back home. It's pretty disheartening. So it's pretty neat what we get to do up here. I always appreciate you guys highlighting what we do up here, but this is probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever gotten to do in my life. And I'm a volunteer. This is just something I do out of the passion I have for this ministry.
Well, that was one of the things that I was going to kind of focus in on. It's not just you. You've got a team of volunteers that go up there and spend their time and the goodness of their heart to go up there and help you fix these cars, repair them to the point where they're semi-reliable. Well, I guess they are reliable if they're running, and then give them to people that are in really need of that. You had mentioned something about the fact that not having a car, I cannot imagine what that might be like, because we don't ever really think about that, somebody not having a car. We don't have public transportation here, like, for instance, New York City. I think Dallas has a better public transportation system than we do. We can't get on a bus or a train and go from Conroe to downtown Houston. We can't go from Conroe to go anywhere, really, unless you're going to fly into the Conroe Regional Airport and that sort of thing. But to not have a car. Now, you don't limit yourself to those people that are just living in the Conroe area.
No, we do the greater Houston area. It just so happens probably the majority of the people we help is from our area because a lot of them can't even get up here. We will pick up a donated vehicle as much as an hour away from Conroe in any direction.
Right.
So that part we go for. For us, the applicants, we end up on the Kelly Clarkson show a couple years ago, and we're getting applicants from all over the country. So obviously, we can only do so much. So we focus the applicants really on the greater Houston area. And, we have a pretty strong vetting process too, because as you can imagine, we get 100 applicants a month. So we get 1,200 a year and we give away 100 cars. So gives you an idea of, how many of the applicants, we have a pretty tight criteria for what they have to meet, and they have to be willing to invest a little bit and come up here and come to the seminar and be part of this. So, but yeah, your point is great. When we open this, we hope you guys will come do a show one Saturday morning from here, and we'll do a car giveaway while you're here. And when we do those, we don't tell the recipient they're actually getting their car that day. So it's quite an emotional event, and you'll get to feel what we feel every time we do this.
What possessed you to do this? What was the motivating factor to get you to do Open God's Garage?
I wasn't the founder. The founder was a pastor out of Montgomery County, and he was driving down the road. As the story goes, I'm not sure how big this story's gotten since since it started, but as the story goes, he was driving down Highway 105 over Montgomery and saw a lady walking with her child down the side of 105, which is a busy, at that place, 2-lane road with a little shoulder. I don't know if it was in the rain, in the dark, uphill, all those things, but either way, you've got a mom walking with a kid. And he stopped, as a pastor, he stopped and said, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" And she's like, "Well, my truck's been in the shop. I can't afford to get it fixed." So I'm having to walk everywhere. So they went and got her truck and took it to his house. And he and a bunch of buddies from the church fixed the vehicle and gave it back to her. And that was essentially kind of that single act of kindness kind of started an idea of, hey, there's a lot of people in this situation that really need some help. And that was actually kind of the birth of God's Garage. And then that was 2010. So 12 years ago that started.
Wow.
So here we sit on 12 acres on the east side of Conroe. God's been amazing to this place. The people that have shown up, even during the construction process, the guys that did our civil work, Bullseye, they had a deposit they had to put down. The deposit came back and they just said, "Hey man, just keep it. We're just going to donate that to the garage."
Wow,
so
fantastic.
it's been incredible. Yeah.
What a overwhelming sense of being humble and we hear so much negative, ugly things about, what's on the news and people getting murdered and all of the ugly stuff. But there is still a lot of good stuff that's happening out there. And we like the fact that this happens to be car related. And
we do too.
Yeah. And it's our cup of tea. And, if there's anything clearly that we can do to help, we would like to be in on that, because there's such a sense of satisfaction that you don't get in any other way than donating, talking about being a part of God's Garage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, we've got 5 employees. I mean, our board members are all volunteers, and we generally in a normal year will give away over 100 cars a year. This year with all the construction going on, we're not going to probably get there, but we're close. But volunteers fix our cars. We have one ASE 40-year certified mechanic on staff. He's in charge of our vehicle operations. He makes sure everything's the way it's supposed to be when it leaves here. And even some of those cars leave here and they die a day later. And if they do, we go get them and we bring them back and we give them another car. Or we fix that one if we can fix that one. So, but, it's volunteer supported. So, anybody out there that's up, especially up on the north side of town, and they have mechanic skills, we're about to open a awesome new 6-bay garage. It's a clean floor and it's going to be neat to be in this place, but it has to be, I mean, without a doubt, it's the most rewarding thing I've been ever assigned to do in my life. And that's kind of how I feel is right now. For me, it's an assignment to do this until somebody else is going to kind of take the board chairman lead. But we have tremendous people. We just hired Justin Coggins about 1.5 years ago to be our president. And he's the first paid operating president this ministry's ever had, and it's incredible. He's doing a great job.
What do you need today? What does God's Garage need today?
Well, kind of the easy answer is just support, whether that's money or cars or volunteers. We ran a campaign to raise money for the building. We fell a little short, so we're having to finance that. So anybody that feels moved that they want to put AC and heat in the shop, we cut that from the scope of the project just to keep it affordable and try to be able to get in here. Right now, Jeff, our shortcomings really just donated vehicles. That's really what makes the world go round. Surprisingly, about over half of the vehicles that get donated to us, we can't fix. They're just too far gone. We drag them out of fields, with 4 flat tires. We'll pick up anything because there's salvage value in that. Mm-hmm. So we'll go salvage those if they're in that bad a shape, and we'll use that money to fix other cars. So we run, $500 to $600 to $700 a car. Once they come in here is what we end up spending. So that money comes from the salvage sales. So really, I mean, volunteers will be great. Money's always good. But right now, I think our biggest thing is we just need vehicles that are almost drivable or are drivable.
Do you do any paint and body work, or is it all mechanical?
Man, very little. That's time consuming. It's messy, especially the paint part. We have a guy that actually, believe it or not, lives in France and comes over here for part of the year, and we kind of quarantine off one part of the old shop down there, and he can actually do paint and body work. So, or we'll go buy, another quarter panel, or we'll go pick up a car from the auction and take the good quarter panel off and put the dented one back on and take it back over to the auction and basically get the same for it we would have gotten had we just run it over there.
Wow.
So, so yeah, it's a smoke and mirrors. wherever we can make it work, we make it work.
It's a constant juggling act.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's incredible to see what goes on here. Like I said, I mean, can you imagine running a couple hundred cars through a volunteer organization? It's got 5 employees, and you're coordinating, vetting all of these applicants. I mean, we have a team of ladies that are just tremendous from the local churches and just other volunteers. They get on the phone and they call these women, and then we run background checks on them, obviously, to make sure they don't already have a vehicle. So we're not giving somebody a vehicle that already has one. And unfortunately, we get a good number of those. But really, it's still, I really look forward to you guys being here at some point, because the impact you will see on that recipient's face is just second to none. It's incredible.
So when is this grand opening going to take place, so we can kind of pencil it in?
Well, we actually are going to have a ceremonial grand opening in later February. So I think what we're going to do is just ask you guys. We probably won't have you come on the actual grand opening. It's just too chaotic. I think what we're going to do is just maybe coordinate a car show, or let you guys decide what you want to have out here in conjunction with being here. I know, I saw you guys down in San Leon at the car show down there.
Yep.
That's always a neat event for you to be at, because you've got this constant stream of folks. That El Dorado was crazy, wasn't it?
It was, yes. God, matter of fact, we saw that El Dorado at Autorama.
Yeah, it was there.
The one with like the little hooked couch in the back seat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we'll organize something like that for you, so it bodes better for your show.
Well, you mentioned something about the chaos at the grand opening. We bring chaos with us.
Well, you're going to have it in February when we come too. Yeah.
Right. So we can't have 2x chaos.
Sure.
Your chaos and our chaos. But we'll find a time to get you here. I think it'll be great. I mean, obviously we have a tremendous facility now. I've actually have a extension cord running way over there to have power to here, so we're kind of creeping up on it. I heard the guys shut the generator off behind me.
The lights went out.
The lights in the shop are run by a generator right now, so we're close. We still need a power pole, so Entergy, if you're listening, we'd like to have our power, please.
Do you actually have somebody that reaches out to the churches around your area and say, hey, we've got a deal here. We'd love to have you guys get involved in it with us and get support that way through the other churches in your area?
Yeah, absolutely. We're all spokespeople for this organization. I wear a God's Garage T-shirt everywhere I go. I've been down in the Med Center and had somebody say, hey, there's one of those up in Conroe. I'm like, yeah, that's us. But Justin Coggins is our executive director. He's our day-to-day operating president. And that's primarily one of his responsibilities, is to go out, build our relationships with local churches. We're fortunate. We've been here for a decade, so a lot of them already know us. And that's good. But, there's still, I'm always amazed how many people don't know we're here. And, like I said, our reach is pretty tremendous. We pick up vehicles in Sugar Land. We give away vehicles to people who live in Pasadena or Pearland. If they can make it up here and they qualify, then we basically will do what we can.
Brad, is it any denomination?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're non-denominational. It's not even people, as far as our recipients go. Part of what we're trying to do is just introduce them to the love of Christ through what we do. So we don't even care if they're faith-based or not. They're gonna come through here and they will leave this place knowing what it feels like to be loved by people that have no idea who they are.
Such a wonderful...
that will happen.
Such a wonderful organization. Well, Brad, it's always great to talk to you, and we thank you so much for joining us today, coming into the shop with no electricity, and hey,
we'll make it work.
Yeah, at least the internet works, huh?
Yeah, that's way over there, but hey, it worked.
Well, Mike, put down that we're going to bring our own power. When we go
we'll bring our own generator with us.
We got a 400 amp panel. We got power for you. We're good. Once we get you going, we'll get you going.
Well,
Thanks again for having us.
Yes, and Merry Christmas to you, and Godspeed, and hopefully we'll get some more cars up there and headed your way.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Brad Thompson, God's Garage. Always good to talk to you.
It's heartfelt. Plus the holidays.
Yep.
People are in a giving mood, so let's give.
You're on the In Wheel Time Car Show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com.